Fyodor Dostoevsky, 1821 to 1881, was a prominent Russian writer and one of the greatest pioneers of psychological novels. Born in Moscow to a middle-class family, he faced harsh circumstances that deeply influenced his works. He began his literary career with the novel Poor Folk, which gained significant acclaim. However, he was arrested for his political activities and exiled to Siberia, where his prison experience profoundly shaped his philosophical outlook. Upon returning, he wrote masterpieces such as Crime and Punishment, The Idiot, and The Brothers Karamazov, exploring themes of inner conflict, faith, and morality. Throughout his life, he struggled with financial and health issues. His works reflect the complexities of the human soul and remain a timeless source of inspiration for global literature and thought.
Human existence lies not in just staying alive, but in finding something to live for. Pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. The really great men must, I think, have great sadness on earth. To go wrong in one's own way is better than to go right in someone else's. The darker the night, the brighter the stars. Darker the night, the brighter the stars. The deeper the grief, the closer is God. The best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's in prison. I say let the world go to hell, but I should always have my tea. Nothing in this world is harder than speaking the truth. Nothing easier than flattery. Man only likes to count his troubles. He doesn't calculate his happiness. I love mankind, he said. But I find to my amazement that the more I love mankind as a whole, the less I love man in particular. Nothing is easier than to denounce the evildoer. Nothing is more difficult than to understand him. We sometimes encounter people, even perfect strangers, who begin to interest us at first sight, somehow, suddenly, all at once, before a word has been spoken. To love someone means to see them as God intended them. It is not the brains that matter most, but that which guides them. The character, the heart, generous qualities, progressive ideas. Don't be overwise. Fling yourself straight into life without deliberation. Don't be afraid. The flood will bear you to the bank and set you safe on your feet again. The soul is healed by being with children. It seems, in fact, as though the second half of a man's life is made up of nothing but the habits he has accumulated during the first half. You will burn and you will burn out. You will be healed and come back again. If you want to overcome the whole world, overcome yourself. Power is given only to those who dare to lower themselves and pick it up. Only one thing matters, one thing, to be able to dare. But how could you live and have no story to tell? To live without hope is to cease to live. A real gentleman, even if he loses everything he owns, must show no emotion. Money must be so far beneath a gentleman that it is hardly worth troubling about. If everything on earth were rational, nothing would happen. Everything passes, only truth remains. I can see the sun, but even if I cannot see the sun, I know that it exists. And to know that the sun is there, that is living. Much unhappiness has come into the world because of bewilderment and things left unsaid. It is better to be unhappy and know the worst than to be happy in a fool's paradise. The greatest happiness is to know the source of unhappiness. I gave up caring about anything, and all the problems disappeared. Only the heart knows how to find what is precious. Deprived of meaningful work, men and women lose their reason for existence. They go stark, raving mad. The cleverest of all, in my opinion, is the man who calls himself a fool at least once a month. It takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. Taking a new step, uttering a new word, is what people fear most. There are things which a man is afraid to tell even to himself, and every decent man has a number of such things stored away in his mind. Talking nonsense is the sole privilege mankind possesses over the other organisms. It's by talking nonsense that one gets to the truth. I talk nonsense, therefore I'm human. Right or wrong, it's very pleasant to break something from time to time. A novel is a work of poetry. In order to write it, one must have tranquility of spirit and of impression.